Hello everyone. So I wanted to do a longer video discussing what's going on in the world right now. To be completely honest, I haven't really been feeling like talking about what's going on because I feel like we have made our beds and are kind of laying in it right now, meaning many countries are watching what happens. We are watching what happens when we follow systems of control, when we unconsciously allow systems that we thought had our best interest at hand, when we allow them to direct us and guide us, which is what they have done our whole lives. The reason this is all unfolding the way it is right now, the reason these things are collapsing, the reason that humanity is standing up, the reason that there are hundreds of protests, peaceful protests all over the world with millions of people right now, is because we are moving through a massive evolutionary shift in human consciousness. A massive evolutionary shift in human consciousness, which means that every system that we have been living in, we start to step out of. We evolve out of the old and we evolve into the new, which means every system that we are in is quote unquote old, which also means that we have to see what we are in. We have to see the amount of evil, the amount of quote unquote darkness, which is just light that is living in lower frequencies. Okay, we call it dark, right? The greed, the manipulation, the control, the mind control, the fear. Those are all quote unquote darker consciousnesses, experiences that we are having that don't feel good. We are evolving out of those. What is currently happening in many countries is this evolutionary process. So 2 years ago, we know what happened. And the majority of humanity was not quite awake yet. So they began to follow the narrative, and there are hundreds of millions of humans that are continuing to follow the narrative, and that is fine. This is all an individual and unique, powerful, magical evolution. So you get to go through this the way you need to go through this. The amount of time that it takes for you to go through this. Nobody's going to go through this the same way, but we all go through this. It is inevitable that the majority of the human collective wakes up out of what we are in. It's inevitable. We will continue to watch more things unravel that are going to continue to allow humanity to step out of these systems. They're going to wake up. They're going to say, oh my God, this is the time when I say enough is enough. Now I see what's happening. We're watching it happen right now, right? We're watching humanity wake up. Look out at what's happening in the world, right? You're starting to finally see people say, oh my God, this is enough. Oh my God, this is enough. Oh my goodness, this is enough, right? This isn't about people being right or people being wrong. This isn't about one group being right and one group being wrong. This isn't about one scientific area being correct and one scientific area being not correct. This is legitimately simply the evolution in consciousness. It is that simple. It's that simple. We can create divide. We can create right, wrong, good, bad. You're on this side, you're on that side. That's going to continue to keep you in the systems that you're here to step out of. But simply what's happening is that we are all choosing, that's why you're here on the planet, to move out of old systems that have kept us in control. That's it. But we see it through the lens of duality, which means I'm doing it wrong, you're doing it right. You need to just follow the narrative. You need to not follow the narrative. If you do these things, it means ... If you do these things, it means ... You can stay in that world, or you can jump up out and see the entire experience from this higher perspective, which is purely evolution, purely consciousness, which is you, which is this entire planetary experience evolving out of and into. And so what we're watching right now is this moment in history where we're like, oh, wow, everything that we have done these 2 years has gotten us to this place. Look at where we are. What an example for us to learn from. So that when something drops next from these systems that are trying to control us, when something comes down the chute again, what a gift that these 2 years have given us, because now we can say, oh, I'm not going to do it this way any longer. Oh, I remember what happened the last 2 years. I'm going to do it this way now. And for those of you that are in countries where you had to do something that you didn't want to do, you had to make a decision that you really didn't want to make, you're okay. Everything is okay. Everything is an opportunity to continue to choose to move into your higher states of being or your evolution, right? So it's not that you beat yourself up. It's not that you beat other people up. Everything is an opportunity, and this is going to go on for a very long time, you guys. This isn't ending anytime soon, and that's not negative. I'm not creating that. I'm not creating that. We have to wake up. 7.5, maybe less now, but 7 billion humans have to wake up. It's a collective shift. So I'm going to shift individually, but I'm still going to stand in what the entire human collective is in. So if 5 billion humans are still in these controlled systems, even though I have stepped out of the controlled systems, I'm still going to be standing in a world that is full of the controlled systems. So we have to patiently, torturously patiently wait for humanity to wake up. So it's a dual evolution. It is your own evolution. You are currently choosing to step out. Okay? And the human collective is slowly. But the world that you look out at is going to reflect the majority of the human collective. That doesn't mean that that's your experience. It means that that is what the entire human collective is choosing right now. The majority creates the reality. You create your reality. So wherever you are in the world, whatever you're going through, don't beat yourself up. Please don't beat yourself up. It's okay whatever you are in. It's okay whatever you decided to do. It is okay. You're good. And if you are fighting that good fight, if you are continuing to stand up for your rights, if you're continuing to stand up for choice over your body, keep going. Keep going. I think a lot of us are at this place right now where we're exhausted, right? We're exhausted of talking about it. We're exhausted of thinking about it. We're exhausted of doing it. We're exhausted of seeing this. But if we remember that this is why we're here, you came here for this. You came here for this. Everything else is icing on the cake, is extras on the sundae. This is why you're here. You chose this time for this reason. Wherever you find yourself in the world, you chose that part of the planet to be in, to experience it. So keep your heart wide open for you and the rest of humanity. Every human is doing the best they can, whether we agree with them or not. This is a massive, massive evolutionary shift in an entire, huge, large collective consciousness called humanity. And we get through this. It doesn't stop. We're not even close to being done. And what we're in right now isn't ending. So how do you want to be in this? How do you want to experience your world? Because you are in charge of your state of being, and only you, no matter what you're up against, no matter what you're facing, because this is what we're learning at the end of the day. The lesson that we're learning is how to be sovereign, is how to be free, is how to speak truth with an open heart, and how to choose your state of being and your state of consciousness regardless of what is going on in the external world. Because I can tell you right now, if you're listening to this video, you are going to evolve before the collective of humanity evolves. So you are going to see things differently, experience things differently, live differently, while you watch the entire human collective slowly begin to shift. Be gentle with yourself. Thank you so much for being here. You are a rock star. I love you.